All right, hello everyone. Today we have Devin with us. He is the process manager for WestHaven Power. Hi, and thank you so much for your time, Devin. How are you today?
Hi there. I'm doing excellent. Thank you. And yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking. Really
Good.
excited for this.
Thanks. Yeah, me too.
All right, so as I have mentioned, you are the process manager for WestHaven Power. So, care to share a bit more about yourself and what you can tell us about WestHaven Power?
Sure. Well, just a quick synopsis of myself. I basically oversee the processes on, I guess you would say, a process level. I basically manage all the systems. So, like systems within the CRM that might not be working good, I facilitate those fixes. I also manage like scheduling and other such things that involve a lot of process oriented work. A lot of weird things happen in the solar industry that you have to keep track of a lot of different moving play at any given time. So that's the majority of what I do. As far as WestHaven Power, we are on the road to becoming the new utility, sort of the 20th century utility. We're kind of trying to get out with the old in terms of the utility and start with the new. A lot of people are moving towards renewable energy sources like solar panels and battery systems to be able to just supply their own power and not have to use the utility grids at all at this point. And we're on a mission to make that happen for everyone in North America.
That sounds really cool and really interesting, really
Thank you.
sustainable.
Very engaging. Very
Yeah,
engaging.
that's really cool. So, how
Thank you.
long have you been with WestHaven Power?
I have been with WestHaven Power for 2 years now.
Wow, 2 years already, process manager.
I know. Time flies.
It really does.
Yeah.
So, can you tell us what does a day working at WestHaven Power like? Like, what's your favorite part of your working day?
Good question. I would say every day is roughly the same. We have a lot of different meeting cadences, especially in the project management center, which is where I spend most of my time. We have quality control meetings in the morning with the VA team, as well as the interdependent office folks here in the office. We have meetings regarding client experience, where we categorize and catalog client feedback, respond to escalations. Further down the line, we have meeting cadences about deployment, where we make sure everybody's getting deployed, all the schedules are looking good. We have like twice weekly meetings. We call them the reflections meetings, where we go over, I would say, raw data, like installer data, where jobs took a little bit too long, or rework appointments, or roof leaks. Basically, we look at sort of the stuff that went wrong, so that we can learn how to fix it. Mainly, that's what we do in project management. Is we do the doing, and then we evaluate what we did, and then we fix what we did, and then we make it a little bit better every day.
That's
And
really. Mhm. Sorry, go on.
oh, no worries. I was just going to say the favorite part probably is the project management meeting, where we have all of PM in a meeting with the VAs. We have a lot of fun in that meeting.
It sounds like you guys are really in tip-top shape. You guys are a well-oiled machine.
Pretty darn, actually. Pretty darn. We've come a long way, actually. We've done a lot of really good stuff, especially in the last 2 to 3 years. We've really battened down the hatches and done a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, it really looks like it. That's really great.
Thank you.
All right. So, why did you decide to work with a virtual assistant, and how long have you been working with VAs?
Me personally, I've been working with VAs for about 4 years, I think. Maybe not 4 consistent years, 4 years sort of off and on within
Hmm.
the last 6 to 7 years. But I decided to work with VAs just because I know how dang useful they could be. I would say, even more so than sometimes people in the office. I don't know what it is, but like they're really good at computers. And I'm not just generalizing, but like in order to qualify to be a virtual assistant, you kind of have to be good at coordinating with third parties, because you are essentially a third party. And you also have to be really good at computers. And primarily the skill set that we needed here at West Haven was people that can coordinate with third parties and people that are good at computers. So it was really just a shoe in, to be honest with you. Like it fit perfectly.
Yeah, seems like it.
Mhm.
And yeah. So, what has been the biggest oh, sorry. So, prior to working with virtual assistants, what would you say was the biggest struggle?
Definitely customer contact was the toughest piece of what we did here. whenever you do construction, you have clients that are either in love with you or you have clients that hate you. You really
Yeah.
don't have anywhere in between. It's a
Mhm.
tough business being in construction because you got to get permits, you got to ask the utility for permission, you got to get permission from the HOA, you got to go to a third party design engineer to get a stamp on the plans that you had another engineer do. It's kind of crazy the actual stuff that you have to do just to get solar on somebody's house. Some people understand that really well, some
Mhm.
people don't. But really, when you don't have anybody there to explain those things, well, then you
Mhm.
get a lot of people that really just don't know what's going on, and so they kind of just point the finger at you. So the main thing that we did to start with the virtual assistants, first two VAs that we had, they came on and sort of helped us revamp our client contact. We actually provide updates and sort of intelligence to our clients. That way they know that it's not us that's dropping the ball.
Mhm.
It's actually the fourth third party that we've had to deal with that's taken forever. We're sorry. That's kind of the message that a lot of them
Mhm.
are bringing to the table. And unless we had somebody appointed to actually do that, well, then they just get mad at us, and it shows up in the form of 1-star reviews on Yelp and Google. That was not good.
Mhm.
Ever since then, we've been attaining tons of 5 stars per month, just because we have people in front of clients that are helping them now. So it's been a huge change.
All right. So that's really good to hear.
Thanks. Yeah, it's great news. It's working fantastic.
Yes, exactly. So, well, I guess you already answered it because the next question is, what has been the biggest difference from not having a VA to working with VAs?
Yeah, I guess I kind of answered that, but I would take it a step further and say that we're a lot more integrated than we were just being a normal in-office team. Whenever you have people that are just in an office space, you develop relationships with these people, and they end up
Mhm.
sort of just being your friends. And so I think people start to just not necessarily want to confront that person because you're like my buddy, you work here, you sit next to me, it's all good, everything's fine. When in reality, sometimes things really aren't fine, and
Mhm.
sometimes you have to actually hold people accountable. And having VAs on the team has made us really intentional about actually sitting in front of other people's and just having accountability cadences. It's okay to have accountability between friends.
Mhm.
And honestly, you really should in any sort of interdependent system. And that's really one major thing that having VAs on the team has done, because they're out of the office and you have to be really intentional about bringing them into conversations. You have to say, I'm inviting you to this meeting where we're
Mhm.
discussing this topic. We're going to keep each other accountable to these action items. It's a very simple formula, but what's easy to do is easy not to do. And when we didn't have VAs, it was definitely easy not to do. But now that we have VAs, we're doing it, and it's fantastic.
All right. Really cool. So, it was kind of mentioned earlier, but I wanted to say it again. So, West Haven Power's mission is to accelerate the world's grid through liberation through power abundance. So, specifically, how has having VAs helped you achieve West Haven Power's mission?
By automating a lot of the things in project management, all of the VAs that we have on the team are responsible for coordinating with customers, but each one has their own primary specialization, just by virtue of the amount of third parties that we have to deal with. Some of them deal with PG&E and other utilities and coordinating main panel upgrades. Some of them coordinate with permitting departments and help to escalate permits and schedule inspections. Some of them actually get on the phone and troubleshoot with existing customers that are calling in for problems with their solars or warranty claims. They process all of those. It was the things that would pile up that would take up all the time of the managers in the office. Those have now been completely automated. We no longer have to think of them. We just facilitate the completing of things that come up, right? When something pops into an email, we just make sure it's assigned and we make sure that somebody's handling it. That's what the managers in the office do now. The VAs have just it's they've kind of blown our mind in our understanding of what is actually automatable, right? Because it's a really
Mm-hmm.
complicated process, but
Mm-hmm.
anything can be dissected, anything can be simplified into a couple of steps, and anything can be delegated to somebody that's willing to take it on.
Yeah, I definitely hear you on that, and I totally understand that. I think that automation, if you know how to do it, especially, or if you have someone in your team who knows how to do it, it just makes things so much more effortless.
It does. It
Yeah.
does.
So you guys, all throughout our this interview, you talk so much about what you guys have achieved, you know, and so much of like the things that have changed.
Yeah.
So Devin, can you share with us some of your plans in the future? You know, now that you have VAs in your team.
Well, now that we actually have time to think, because of the automating of the things, we're really looking to kind of 10x what we're doing already. We have a lot of big plans in the works that I won't necessarily reveal at face value, but we're planning on creating more divisions of virtual assistants essentially to handle different things. We have a lot of surface level stuff sort of taken care of, like the immediate fires that we had to put out are now out and doused. We're good to go on those. But I would say we need to kind of overhaul some of our service department. There's a lot of things over there that still need constant attention on that we've never really
Mhm.
had constant attention on before. So it's kind of a new trial in getting someone to do it. But we're really looking to revamp a couple of niche processes that's really going
Mhm.
to differentiate us. You know, and that goes a long way in the solar industry. We have a few really big plans in mind that we're planning on using VAs for.
Oh, that's so interesting, and it's really good that you guys are expanding even
Thank
more.
you.
You know, because
Yeah.
expansion means that you guys are doing really well. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, we definitely are.
All right. So, Devin, what advice would you give other business leaders when working with a VA?
That's a great question. And the answer is focus on results. Don't
Mhm.
be the manager that just gives tasks to your virtual assistant because you're going to spend all your time trying to look for tasks to give your virtual assistant. Don't do that. Get a result that you want and get someone that you think can do it. Have them agree that they will get that result for you and let them go. Let them fly. That's it. I promise that's it. I know there's definitely going to be more complicated situations, and you're going to need to help them and obviously work with them on things that they have questions about. But that's it in a nutshell. You give them a
Mhm.
result that they're responsible for, and they do it.
All right, great. All right, Devin, we've talked so much today, and it's been so nice to get to know you as well as West Haven Power. So this is the time where we'd like to ask you to tell viewers and the listeners where to find West Haven Power in the digital space.
Sure, absolutely. Well, take a look at West Haven Power on Facebook. If you have a Twitch account, you can actually check out Twitch. Our CEO, Brett Jorger, actually gets on there every once in a while and broadcasts, and he talks about West Haven Power as well as different solar fun things. And every once in a great while, he'll actually broadcast live installs. You can get on there and see our foreman actually installing a job on a house. It's pretty cool. But as far as just checking out what we do, check out our website and you'll see everything you need to know on there, as
All
well as our
right.
referral
That's really cool. All right. So now don't forget to check out West Haven Power as well as us, WeGrow VA. You can find us over at Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter. We're basically everywhere. And also feel free to also check our website out, which is wegrowva.com. So once again, thank you so much, Devin. We really appreciate your time.
program. You're very welcome. It was a pleasure.
Welcome to West Haven Power. West Haven Power is on a mission to accelerate the world's grid liberation through reliable power abundance. We built West Haven Power because we wanted to have one place for all of your home energy needs. We know that by selecting the right products and installing them correctly, true grid liberation is possible for every home. Grid liberation is the ability to use as much power as you want, when you want, and not need the utility grid for it. When I started West Haven Power, it was just 2 of us. Now we have hundreds of employees and offer everything under one roof across key locations straight to your home. At its core, that's the secret sauce of West Haven Power. We built our company to be completely customized for the way you live and for all your power needs. If you want more power, we start with that. If you want something more robust for full grid liberation, let's build it together. With West Haven Power, the possibilities are limitless. With just a few clicks on our site or a phone call, we'll get you started immediately and handle everything from start to finish, including design, permitting, installation, and activation. You'll have monitoring access to your own energy systems, where you can control and see production and consumption in real time. You can use when you want, when you want. And when you're ready to go more, we're there for you. Because as you grow, so will your home energy needs. And WestHaven Power grows right along with you. We're here for you every step towards grid liberation. You'll never have to worry about your electricity again. No matter how much you consume, we can make it. From work from home to distance learning, or however many EV cars you get, one major difference about us is that we actually listen to you and what you need. And we want your grid liberation just as much as you do. I read every single piece of feedback you send in, and I personally train every one of our craftsmen to do the job right. As a company, we continue to give you a better version of WestHaven Power every day. We're here to give you reliable power abundance and grid liberation. And we guarantee to save you hundreds of dollars every single month. In fact, some of our customers pay as low as $10 a month for solar and battery. Let's make your home a safer and more reliable haven and put the power back in your control.